Hello everyone, dear friends. A magical world called Entisla. People, demons. In a word, a struggle for survival. The main characters of the story are Satan himself, who is also the main villain of all things. His goal is to enslave every piece of land. It is also necessary to note the most important companion, the demon general, the subordinate advisor of Al-Ciel. He is always nearby and tries to keep his ruler informed about all the news. And of course, since there are such guys, monsters, demons and other creatures in the world, how can humanity without its hero? The Golden Paladin, hiding his appearance. The Paladin, having united with people, was able to resist evil, repel all attacks and come close to the castle of the ruler, where a battle began between Satan and the hero, from which the demon and his comrade Al-Ciel had to retreat into a quickly created portal. And this portal through to former bad guys straight into the capital of Japan, modern Tokyo. And because of the transfer to the world of people, the devil and his friend lost their scary shell and began to look like ordinary guys, which is for the best, because the first people the hero met on Earth were police officers. Fortunately, the men were reasonable. They put 2 plus 2 together and thought that the guys were just foreign cosplayers, and they were apparently attacked by hooligans. Otherwise, where would all the abrasions and bruises come from? Therefore, having taken the devil and the general of the demonic army under his wing, the men politely took the poor fellows to the site, where, with the help of the magic remaining in the body, Satan, thanks to hypnosis, found out everything about the current Earth. If in short, he took an intensive course in modern history. So, armed with knowledge about this wonderful world, Gagashich, first of all, began to form his human personality, a passport, medical cards, bought a house, got acquainted with the reference to the moving castle, and most importantly, acquired a name. From now on, Satan is called Sadao Mao, and his friend Shurash. The transformation is ready. You can't tell him apart from civilians. Having collected all the documents, Mao flew to his new job on a bicycle. After all, heroes need to eat something, and it is possible to earn money only at work. Mao's choice, Mao for a fast food restaurant. The advantages are a convenient schedule, undemanding knowledge of the job and a pleasant team. And while the former Satan earns his first money, Shiro carries out the master's order. Since he is responsible for planning, then the task fell on his friend's shoulders, to find a way to return the Lord and himself to his mythical world, and continue the conquest. Be that as it may, the books of people have few clues, and from reading a huge amount of literature, even the guy's head hurts. In turn, Mao can boast of a more or less successful day. The hero liked working in the restaurant, and after just a few shifts he was officially accepted. A promotion is in his pocket, which means his salary will be higher. Great, with good news, it's no sin for the devil to hurry home. Joy is just pouring out. Sadly, at this key moment, an obstacle stands in Mao's way, a girl with red hair, to whom the guy recently lent an umbrella in the rain. The red-haired one stopped Mao and declared to the master, the girl turns out to be that very golden heroine, the paladin who almost eliminated Satan before his departure to another world. And at this moment, when the villain escaped, Amelia Truth could not contain her emotions and, by her own decision, wanted to go after the enemy in order to find him in another world and finish him off. But fate turned against the girl. Having got into the world of Mao, she began to live independently, working part-time as an agent, technical support in one of the companies, more than enough to live on. However, this was not what worried her at all. After her successful finding of Satan, Amelia focused all her attention on him, constantly stalked Mao and Shira, followed them on their heels and even invaded their house, where she insulted the poverty of the devil and did other dirty tricks. In general, Amelia's behavior does not pull on heroic, although after several days of persistent surveillance and analysis of the enemy's behavior, Amelia condescended to Mao and asked to meet him at night on a quiet alley. The girl tells the guy that this human world would be a good place for Mao to live permanently. According to her, he might really like living here, and the girl herself would return back to Entislo. The offer is heard and immediately rejected, because Mao immediately understood what Amelia was leading to. She wants to seal him in the human world, lock the evil in the closet, return to her reality and finish off the minions waiting for the devil to come. No way. Mao himself will return to his world, take over it, and then take control of Tokyo to boot. The greatest evil must devour the entire universe. Suddenly, during the Battle of Glances, Mao and Amelia are shot at, with unusual bullets, more like an attack by enchanted cartridges, and it is advisable not to fall under their influence. The best option is to run home without looking back. And then a nuance happened. Emilia accidentally dropped her wallet and house keys during the shootout, and there is no way to return. Therefore, with a super shy look, the poor guy asks to spend the night at Mao's. There are no evil intentions, she really just needs to sleep with him for one night under the roof. Mao, surprisingly, calmly accepts the guest, which, to put it mildly, surprised Shiro. But arguing is forbidden. Everyone is ordered to go to bed. And at night, just before going to bed, Satan receives a strange text message from a stranger who knows the true identity of Mao and Emilia. And who knows, maybe it's a banal prank, but to confirm the danger, the mysterious person met Emilia. He called her right at work and, judging by his voice, the heroine assumed that the caller was most likely a demon. He seems to really want to destroy Mao and Emilia, using a large-scale earthquake to achieve his goal. It seems like something dangerous is coming. Before that, it would be good to get distracted, go on a date with his colleague Chiho Sasaki, who our Mao is not indifferent to, walk hand in hand, sit in a cafe, be attacked by Emilia and turn the cozy environment into a circus for the stupid statements of the Red Beast. And besides that, right in the middle of the argument, a magical earthquake happens. Because of it, the entire shopping mall is left under the rubble, and Neo even returns to his demon form to ensure the safety of his girlfriend from work, Ishiro's Emilia. Because of this devil appearance, Emilia is plunged into memories, childhood, farm and loving father, as well as the growing danger from the demon army. Emilia's dad tried to hide the threat to his daughter, but when people from the church came for her with the intention of fulfilling the prophecies of the great heroine, the daughter of an angel, he could no longer protect her. Emilia separated from her family, and then she learned that the village with her beloved dad was burned by the devil, and many years later, she did not stop hating him. Here's the reason. With all her behavior, she is unable to imagine Mao doing commendable deeds, but the eyes cannot lie. Satan really saved people from the collapse and calmly trudged home, not suspecting that in one day the same demon who called Emilia and staged an attempt on the heroes would appear on Earth. One of the devil's subordinates, Hanzo Yarashihara, Lucifer with the long purple bangs, has come to end the boss's existence. Lucifer is not happy with the current state of affairs. Satan has become too soft, and that is not right. Hanzo wants destruction, explosions and constant battles, and he will get it in abundance. In vain did Lucifer go against the regime. After all, Emilia is not asleep. She will not allow anyone to kill Satan. She herself will interrupt his life in the future and no one else. However, the forces are not equal yet. Lucifer draws magic from the negative emotions of people, and Emilia from good ones. It is easy to guess that there is often more anger in people than joy and positivity, because of which the battle, who in the intervention of Shiro and Mao, would be lost. Fortunately, the devil also used his trump card. He gathered his strength like Lucifer and, with a powerful blow, ended the performance of his subordinate. In addition, Neo also took care of the surrounding people. No one saw or heard anything that day, except for Chiho. She had a complete picture of what was happening, but on the contrary, she liked it, if you know what I mean. Meanwhile, in the world of magicians and human societies in shock, they learned about the life of the devil and their hero Emilia. The old men in hoods thought that after getting into the portal, their lives were cut short, but it turns out that the kids moved to a more prosperous place, with the internet and other features of modern society. It's even somehow envious. Therefore, one of the spies, the executioner investigator, offers an interesting option to the priests. She, as a random girl, will try to get closer to Satan and the heroine Emilia, and then pass on all the information to the headquarters about the alleged commonwealth between good and evil. To do this, Suzuno Kamasuki will settle next door to the devil and begin to integrate with their society. She gives gifts, teaches how to cook, becomes a friend, and everything looks organic, without any screw-ups or moments where Suzuna could get caught, even if Emilia didn't suspect anything. That says a lot. Everyone lives peacefully and there are no problems. You couldn't come up with anything better. The only thing that can be considered strange is the attack on Emilia in the middle of the night, while Mao was fighting off Chiho. Satan has a problem with the girl's jealousy, and the heroine has a problem with the guy who shoots purple lasers that block holy abilities. Luckily, the store clerk came to the rescue with tangerines and threw the attacker out of the street. Emilia wondered who dared to attack her, and whether it was deliberate. It was hard to understand. Moreover, it could have been anyone from her home world. In general, you will have to be on guard and be fully armed. Well, Emilia cannot calmly remain on Earth, as Mao does. Even the first girl confessed her love to him. Chiho was able to take control of her feelings and confess everything to the guy with a satisfied face. And so loudly that Suzuna overheard the conversation, which made Sasaki turn pink and bolt home, leaving the spy and Mao alone. And by the way, it's time for Suzuna to show her cards, at least to Emilia. After all, they are from the same boat. Yes, having learned that Suzuna was sent to carry out a special mission, she was very surprised by what was said. The heroine in her own world, like all her friends, is accused of uniting with Satan. Emilia no longer has the strength to be angry at such a statement, no matter how many times she proves that she is not friends with Mao. She hates him, can't you see? It seems that Suzuna, ironically agreeing with her friend, asked the girl to teach her all the basics of Japanese traditions and all of humanity. Trains, clothes, ration cards, and everything is gradually assimilated on Earth. Convenient. The boundaries of good and evil are increasingly blurred, and Satan, the boss of all ignorance, is discussed in a decorous manner when communicating with ordinary people. They say what a great guy he is, a wonderful friend, a hard worker, a unique cashier of the highest rank. All of Mac's competitors would snatch him up. He is able to serve burgers, big, small, any size in seconds, and besides, he is polite, and his beauty captivates everyone he talks to. True, the song did not play for long. It is time to enter the game, urgently according to the rule of happy stories. Once again, someone is about to interfere with the story and disturb the friendly atmosphere. Suddenly, Suzuna, who is also the acting executioner of the Sacred Association, receives an order from the Archangel. It is time to eliminate Mao. He has been wandering around doing nothing for too long. We must strike at him, right now. He is in the weak magic form phase. Destroying Satan at this point will be easy. But who would believe it? Emilia, the hero, called by fate itself to kill the devil, does not agree to Suzuno's plan. Let Mao live. He will not hurt anyone anyway, her intuition tells her. And although Suzuno listened to her friends, she can't contradict the orders from above, especially when her boss himself bursts into the battle. That's right. The strange guy with the scythe turns out to be an archangel. He demands that Emilia's sacred weapon be returned, either kindly or by fighting. Mao, unsuspecting, sits at work on the night shift, and only thanks to a call from Lucifer, who has learned various internet tricks, he learned that trouble is happening to Chiho and Emilia, extortion, torture. Emilia is tormented in this way and that, causing physical pain in a huge amount. The archangel needs to return the holy sword from the girl back to heaven, by any means necessary. But Emilia holds up well. The heroine believes that Mao will come for her. Not because he is good, or because she began to trust Satan. No, it's all about Chiho. She's his colleague at work, and Mei's title as senior manager makes him protect all his employees from harm. The devil manager quickly pedals and finally arrives at the place where he is met by the barrier and Suzuno's attack. Doubt is clearly visible in her eyes. She can't decide whose side she is on. Mao instantly took advantage of this vulnerability and sowed even more hesitation in the head of the sacred executioner, thereby opening the way to the archangel. However, first he has to climb up to the roof by the ladder. During this intermediate stage, the angel does something incomprehensible, goes crazy from his power and sows madness. Fortunately, at the moment of X, Mao manages to get up and immediately gets beaten up for his insolence. The devil is thrown from side to side by explosions. The archangel's powers exceed imagination. However, due to the growing rage of the archangel, covering the territory of the entire city, ordinary living people begin to radiate fear and other unpleasant feelings, which plays into Mao's hands. He enters the combat form. Archangel also does not stand still and in response shows the actions of his truly destructive force. But Mao has collected enough feelings. It is time to release the accumulated anger and bring the white enemy down to earth. Victory! It remains for our guy to restore everything that was destroyed in the battlefield. Someone has to clean up, right? That's right. Some time passes after the incident. Against the backdrop of recent events, Chiho and Emilia have strange dreams. One is afraid that Mao will leave the world of people, because he will consider himself an unnecessary link. The other, on the contrary, sees how Satan is capturing all of humanity. In general, they are both wrong. The main character has no intentions or hidden desires yet. He would like to regain his strength and return to work. Money will not earn itself. Therefore, looking at such an existence of a real devil, the hero Emilia, having met her sworn enemy on a random rainy night, still recognizes some of the demon's useful actions. And as a sign of gratitude, she gives Mao an umbrella, just as he once gave it to her. The first season of this wonderful and cheerful anime ends with a mutual gift. And, well, that's all for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.